Alright, big project here. I'll be renovating this entire kitchen. I already somewhat started demolition. Took all the cabinets out, I didn't film it. Someone from Facebook Marketplace came and took them. I didn't want to throw them out, and I figured it'd be good to give them away to somebody. But basically what we're doing here is blowing out this L-shaped wall here. It's going to come into this living space, which I have the window taped off. So the cabinets will go along this wall where the stove is, and they will also be over here with an island right where I'm standing, where this wall is. And you'll still have access to this basement, which will remove the door, and you'll just have like a studded wall here. And for right now, I am sealing off areas of the house that we don't want dust getting into, which I can show you that, which is pretty simple. Just measure the opening and just cut that to width. And then the method I use is to just put like some scrap wood and screw it with the tarp going around it. And that's about it, just getting started, so I'll keep you updated. Starting here with the drywall, taking it down. It's pretty straightforward, just don't want to break anything behind the wall. You can see there's some conduit in here. I started the process already. I was just a little anxious, and I made a little hole to see what was going on in there. I thought these were plaster walls, and it turns out they're actually just drywall, so this is going to be a little bit easier than I thought. I'm going to be tackling this with the Sawzall. Got a mask so I can breathe, and some glasses. Let's go to work. knew there was plaster in this house. You can see all of a sudden it got really hard to cut through as compared to that. This will take a little bit longer, but oh well. Alright, so it might be hard to tell in the video, but the ceiling of the whole house is different than this kitchen, which they probably remodeled in the 80s or 90s. He had this giant, they made it, the ceiling would put this giant light fixture in here, which was really common in the 80s, 90s, late 80s, early 90s. So we get fully up there, we need to remove this ceiling, which we were going to be removing this anyways. But the real goal is to see how this is load bearing and where I'll have to run a beam, which I'm assuming will be along this way and above that header. But I won't know that till I look into the ceiling and confirm. So we'll just keep going here. knew there was this stuff in this house somewhere. You can see that. This stuff with the metal in it is an absolute nightmare, which means it's probably all on this wall behind me as it comes around this corner. So, not excited about that. Okay, so getting into this up here has that metal in it as well. It looks like this was remodeled at some point and he furred out whatever we put here, which was not the metal stuff, and had it line up correctly with what was existing. Probably when he put that ceiling in over there, different heights. Well, let's keep going. Alrighty. Next thing here is this drop ceiling. You can see it now really good. Just gonna start taking this drywall down and see what's inside of here and go from there. Got a good chunk of it down there in like less than 10 minutes. You can see you just frame this out And I guess in there you can see the old floor joists. Why he insulated this, just a little area, I have no idea. Anyways, everything is coming down pretty easily. And we will keep on trucking here. One other thing, since we know that the floor joist is running that way, right? Which is the same way that these are here. We know that the beam is going to have to go this way, as I predicted, because this is supporting the floor above us. So when I take this down, I'm going to have to put temporary walls in and put a beam that'll go from somewhere here all the way. I'm going to take some of this wall out and it'll probably go all the way to about here. And this will be where this wall will move to, about here. And the beam will sit on top of it. I don't exactly know what's going on up here. It's like two different joists on top of each other. We will see as we keep going. So good amount of progress on demo and everything out. And now you can really see that this for sure is load bearing. The joist ends right there. That runs all the way to there. And then you have this one starts there and runs all the way to that wall. And it's like that all the way down there. So something needs to go in to support all of these before I remove this wall here, which this will all come out, the header, and then it'll stick out about 30 inches from the wall. Should be somewhere around here. So it'll be a lot more space. But we are getting there. This stuff is the absolute worst. What a mess. Okay, demolition is getting close to being all the way done. You can see all the ceilings, for the most part, taken out, except there's still this little corner left, and it is done twice, so it's a lot of work to get this out, but I'll be happy once all the plaster is out of this ceiling. So now I'm ready to put these support beams in that are going to go on each side of this wall. They're going to be temporary walls on each side of this, because as you can see, these joists meet right here and they would fall down if this wall wasn't here. So there's going to be a wall right here going all the way across, and then one that starts there and goes all the way on this side to about there. And once those are in, this can come down. And then another problem I'm having is there is not enough space to build and frame the wall like you normally would, where you would just lay them on the ground and nail everything together and then tip it upright. There's not enough space to do that, so I'm going to be attaching the top plates to the ceiling and then hammering in the studs from there. We'll see how it goes. officially gone. See, I have my temporary walls in to hold everything up. As you can see now, way better. Here's where the joists all meet, right where that wall was. So nothing was holding these up. I have one on each side. These would come crashing down. So we're putting a big beam going from like where that random electrical box is all the way to there. That's for tomorrow.